Hi everybody, this is Angie from Tourangie.com, and today this is more of my golf cart tour video from Rome. We are leaving the St. Ignazio's Basilica here in Rome, and you can tell there's a lot of people coming to check out this place. So anyway, we're going to take this golf cart and we're going to head to the Pantheon. So this video is going to be all about the Pantheon. You'll see the route, how we chose to get there. And we parked the golf cart a little distance away from the Pantheon because it is so crowded at the Pantheon. But you will get to see the walk, which I love that little walk. There's a great little coffee shop on one side. It's cobblestone streets. I just love it. It's a beautiful little street. Anyway, so you'll see that coming up in the video as the golf cart goes, and we'll stop and we'll get out of the golf cart and head towards the Pantheon where you'll get a good view of it. So we're going to talk about the Pantheon, a lot about its history and stuff like that. So the Pantheon is an active church. Back in the day, it was a temple to all the gods, and Pantheon comes from Greek. But since 609 AD, it became a Catholic church. So they still do church services to this day at the Pantheon. So if you're in Rome, know that you cannot go, tour the Pantheon while church service is going on. You can go to church, go for the actual service, but you can't do a tour. Another thing to know is back last summer, they started charging you to go into the Pantheon for a tour. It's only $5 now, but you have to get tickets. You can get them online or you can get them out front, but it is $5 to enter the Pantheon now. It used to be free. But on the first Sunday of every month, it is free to enter the Pantheon, along with all the other museums, tons of places. I've listed them out before. It's even in a blog I wrote. Well, this is the first Sunday of the month. So you're going to see the crazy crowds that are here. And it's really hard to get in to the Pantheon on the free days. That's why I always suggest going to museums or different things if you're here on the first Sunday of every month, because some of the places are very, very crowded. And you're going to see it's very crowded at the Pantheon. So let's talk a little bit about the history. Like I said, it became Catholic Church in 609, but it was originally it was built on the site of an earlier temple that was commissioned by Marcus Agrippa during the reign of Augustus. So that was like 27 BC to 14 AD. But then it burnt down. The present building was built by Emperor Hadrian and dedicated around 126 AD, but the date is not 100% certain. And it is not inscribed anywhere on this temple, the actual date, because it was retaining the inscription of Agrippa's older temple from 27 BC. So that's a little bit of information now. So when we get up here to it, you'll be able to see the building and the dome. But as for the dome, the Pantheon's dome is still the world's largest unreinforced concrete dome. Now, you may be wondering, what do you mean unreinforced? Well, there is an innoculus in the center, in the interior, where, when it rains, the rain comes through the roof, because an innoculus is a big round circle in the middle of the roof. So this dome is not fully enclosed. There's a big hole in the top, and that's how it was built. So for it to this day to still be the world's largest unreinforced concrete dome in about 2,000 years, that's pretty impressive. But most people these days would, do a whole dome over top and it would be reinforced, where this one's unreinforced. But there's Corinthian columns and a huge rotunda. It's a very, very beautiful building. It is the best actually preserved of ancient Roman buildings. And the largest, it's mainly the largest continuous use building, because it's been basically in continuous use since it was a temple of the gods and then became a Catholic church. So we have now left the golf cart, and I'm sorry and apologize for all the, me walking and I'm carrying things, and this isn't the best little walking video, but I figured I would show this street as I'm walking down it. We had to park back there because we can't bring the golf cart up close to the Pantheon, but you can see the Pantheon right here at the end of this, the end here. You can see it, the little dome sticking up there. So this street is not crowded. I just love the views of this street too. It's just pretty. Anyway, we continue on and you'll be able to see the Pantheon here in just a second. But I do apologize for me holding the camera in one hand and walking and still trying to talk to my tour guide and hold the bag of goodies that I bought earlier, because we didn't leave anything in the golf cart. So yeah, we're just walking through towards the Pantheon. There has been a lot of, I guess what you would say, excavations and stuff for the form of Agrippa's Pantheon, which burned down before this one was replaced in its site. But there is something that I'm going to read to you. It's from Pliny the Elder. And Pliny, I've mentioned him probably in some of my other videos, but he wrote a lot for ancient Rome. He wrote about, there was a lot about writing about Pompeii too. Anyway, but in Pliny the Elder's Natural History, he talks about the Agrippa Pantheon. So I'm going to read to you a little bit about that. The capitals, too, of the pillars, which were placed by Agrippa on the Pantheon, are made of Syracusan bronze, and that the Pantheon of Agrippa had been decorated by Diogenes of Athens, and the caryatides by him, which form the columns of the temples, are looked to be a masterpiece of excellence. The same too with the statues that are placed upon the roof, and that one of Cleopatra's pearls was cut in half, so that each half might serve as pendant for the ears of Venus in the Pantheon of Rome. So that's pretty neat to know that. Just even though that building is actually not standing now, but this one replaced it. And it also was a domed building, and it was very similar. Cassius Dio, he was a senator, and this is ancient Rome times. He did a comprehensive history of Rome 75 years after the Pantheon's reconstruction. This is after the fire took out the first Pantheon of Agrippa's. But Cassius Dio still credits Agrippa for it and not Hadrian, the Emperor Hadrian. Even though Hadrian did get this rebuilt, and he did use the same form, so it would be very similar, but he didn't claim it as a work under him though. So Cassius Dio referred to it as Agrippa's finished the construction, even though we know the fire took it out and it was rebuilt. Now, some other information which I find very interesting. This is we're going to go forward to we're going to skip the medieval time, and we're going to go to the Renaissance, because there's been several burials here, but one of the burials is a famous painter that you all should know, and that's Raphael. He is buried here at the Pantheon. but there's several other people buried there. But one thing I want to talk about, which is I thought was kind of odd, Pope Urban VIII, and this is in 1623 to 1644, he ordered the bronze ceiling of the Pantheon to be melted down. Most of the bronze was used to make bombards and fortifications at the Castel Sant'Angelo, but the rest was used for the apostolic camera. But it has also been said that some of the bronze was used by Bernini in the creation of the baldachin above the high altar at St. Peter's Basilica. But people do say, you know, it has been said there, but people have also said that no, that this bronze that Bernini used came from Venice. So who exactly knows? I don't know. But I thought it to be odd that in the 1600s they melted down all the bronze from inside the dome of the Pantheon to use for other things. So, yeah, that's pretty interesting. 2 kings of Italy are buried at the Pantheon. Emmanuel II and Umberto I, as well as Umberto's queen Margherita. This was supposed to be her final resting place for the monarch of Italy and the House of Savoy, but the monarchy was abolished in 1946, and the authorities refused to grant burial to the former kings who died in exile, Victor Emmanuel and Umberto II. Victor Emmanuel III and Umberto II. The National Institute for the Honor Guard of the Royal Tombs of the Pantheon was originally chartered by the House of Savoy and subsequently operating with authority of the Italian Republic, mounts as guards of honor in front of the royal tombs. And like I said earlier, the Pantheon is still used as a Catholic church. So that's all I wanted to show you. Here's the picture that I took while at the Pantheon. You can see the crazy crowds that are here. So this is Angie from Tourangie.com. Come to my website, read my blogs, and make appointments so I can help you plan your next travel adventure. Talk to you later.